chord riff, it's very, very similar to I Can't Explain by The Who.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I thought it was exactly the same.
I'm
gonna have to hold them up against one another.
Yeah, I think with The Who, it's like dun 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 dun, and I think with this song, it's like you don't go that it kind of stays almost low. I think that's the difference in a way. Someone else would be like, no, there's something else. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is, you got it, Greg. And that guy over there, well, that guy is Andy. And Andy, this is your first time on Into the Music. Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Greg. I appreciate it. Just digging into some songs that I've never heard before as a fan of the channel. I was exposed to a lot of genres and artists that I'd never heard before, but whose music for the most part I really enjoyed. So just felt like a good community of song sharers. And I figured I was going to be a part of it as a listener. And when you asked me to come on as a time reviewer reactor, I said, yeah, let's take this relationship to the next level, Greg. So here I am.
So if I remember correctly, because you and I have had conversations, and I think I remember you've been first seeing, because with your YouTube handle name, I think you have your picture. You got like sunglasses or so. So I remember that your comment, whatever, and you kind of stuck out, because then you would show up again. And I think I got you here because of the Arctic Monkeys, right? You can't check that out a couple months ago. Yeah.
Well, you say you got me here, but I'm here because of that, and that's couldn't be more accurate. I mean, the first time I ever landed on your channel was actually an Arctic Monkeys review, and you guys were actually pretty consistent for a little bit after that. So I kept coming back, and then other artists would make appearances, and sort of followers of that genre started mentioning other bands that I also liked. So it kind of just snowballed. And then from there it was like, well, these guys' reactions are pretty good anyway, so I'm just going to try these songs that I've never heard before, or artists I've never heard before, just to see how wide of a breadth of genres you guys dabbled with.
Right.
It was interesting, never a dull moment with some of those different artists and different songs.
No, and not a dull moment, because then you started getting into the whole request sort of mode here, and you started. So, folks, if you saw a lot of Manchester Orchestra songs, it was a period there was a lot, maybe 5, 6, but they were coming from Andy. And Andy, and I don't know if Claire's watching this, but I remember Claire, actually, you turned on some of the Into the Music folks out there, to Manchester Orchestra. I remember seeing the comments like, "This is beautiful. This was great. This band." So
yeah, there was a lot of really good Discord with them that I otherwise would never have really communicated with like that. So that was another really cool moment in my whole time following the channel, was just like, somebody makes a comment and then it blossoms into something more than just, cool song, Greg, thanks, and that's just, it's cool to see that, especially, when we were going through times like we were a year or so ago. So
well, absolutely. I am hoping for some, hey, that song was cool, Greg, that was good, for this song, and you don't know it yet. So you don't know what I'm gonna give you. So
put it on me.
All right. So the band is NAZZ. You ever hear of NAZZ?
No, I don't need do we have a genre or something that you want to throw? You throw me a bone, or just send me in with NAZZ?
I'm just gonna send you in with NAZZ.
Okay.
Okay. I was influenced, Chris would be like, don't tell me anything, so I kind of got influenced by that,
Fair enough. I'm flying blind here.
So NAZZ, and the song is Open My Eyes. So go open your ears, go check it out.
You said it before I could.
And come on back and let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
Underneath your gaze I was found in the haze I'm wandering around in. I am lost in the dark of my own room, and I can't see a thing
like the bass in all parts of the song. It's very nice and it's carrying the rhythm really well. And sort of there's this sweeping sound that I'm just now beginning to notice, at least in this part. That certainly caught my attention. All right, cool. Let's go. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, it was quintessential that period in rock and roll. Like it sounded very much of its era. You know, sometimes we listen to these songs and we're like, "Oh, this was ahead of its time," or "Oh, these guys were, formed in the wrong generation," or what have you. But these guys, this is like right in that wheelhouse of like late '60s, early '70s, true rock and roll. Great sound. I mean, I'm surprised with this sound that I haven't heard more about or of these guys, but I really enjoyed it. All right, let's get back with Greg and discuss.
Hey, I see you back, man. Cool. So what'd you
Yeah.
think? What'd you think?
Um, Absolutely cool. Saw the thumbnail and was taken to, I gotta say, like late '60s to maybe mid '70s rock vibes that I got from it, and the sound also. So that's good. That wasn't anything too wild. That's kind of like the stuff my pops raised me on. So, and what got me into music.
That's a wide range, though. If you a gun to your head, or okay, maybe that's kind of violent. Money. If you had to put money down, what would be that year? Give me like a 2-year range. What are you
A
thinking?
2-year range.
Yeah, 3 years. I'll give you 3 years. Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I don't want to get too much into it, but the sound of the guitar reminded me very much of, well, one, bang on reminds me of The Who, and then
I
the
can't
other
explain.
song that was it's kind of similar, but not anywhere near as Carbon Copy, was almost the beginning of Day Tripper by the Beatles. So I'm taken to that, I suppose, era of rock and roll, or so I'm thinking it would have to come after. So 67 to 70. Got to give me 3 years.
68. It was 1968, and that song of The Who, right? I can't explain that chord riff. It's very, very similar to I Can't Explain by The Who.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
For me, I thought it was exactly the same.
Dun,
I'm gonna have to hold them up against one another.
Yeah, I think with The Who, it's like dun, 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 and I think with this song, it's like you don't go that, it kind of stays almost low. I think that's the
Okay.
difference in a way. Someone else would be like, no,
Okay.
there's something else there, but for the most part, I think that's the big difference. Very similar, so similar.
Oh yeah.
And
to
The
the
Who
point
came
where it's
first.
almost like paying. It has to be like homage or like you can't be that ham-handed and think you're gonna fly under the radar, right?
I just wonder. I mean, I was looking into it. Didn't seem like there was any like lawsuit or something like that. I mean, the Who really could have like nailed them on it because, the Who came first, 1965, that song, and then this one, 1968. So, but the rest of the song, the rest of the song too, it's got some borrowed stuff too. And I don't know if like the Steve Miller Band, there's some songs that he came up with, but he was always known for sort of borrowing before him. So I don't know if it's a case of that, but there's a lot of sort of in different parts of the song, like familiarity to me. It doesn't ruin it because I'm the one who put it on the list and said, listen to it because I love it. I go back to it. I just think it's a great song. It's just, and for that, in that time, 1968, the sound was great. And the guitar, the production of that, it's just, and the vocals, it's like, I just think that, but this is your reaction. So
No, well, just so one, I enjoyed the song as well. And I thought if someone said, pull in a bag and pull out the sound of the late 60s rock movement, this would be like a perfect illustration of that.
Yeah.
It was very much cut from that cloth. The thing that intrigued me, a couple of the things that you said that sparked thoughts in my head were what did you say 65 was I Can't Explain?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And you're talking 3 years, 65. Yeah. Like 3 years later.
Yeah.
And they're all those the Who's still relevant then. So had these people, had they crossed paths? Was there ever like, yeah, we're both touring rock bands. I
don't know. That's a great question.
That's just because it's just very rarely, at least in my estimation, do you see that happening in such a short window of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just intriguing. Aside from that, yeah, like I remember thinking this is of a quality that I'm surprised I have never heard this before.
Mm-hmm.
I just alluded to a while ago that this is the stuff my dad would have on for the most part, listening to his records or what have you, driving around in the car. And I'm just surprised I never heard this come on, or it was never, or even the band, because it just sounds like this would have had to have been in his collection at some point. I'm surprised. So
yeah, I wonder if it's because I don't think they stayed around that long. So there was a real popular musician, Todd Rundgren. So he was actually part of that band, and then he went into his solo career like in the early 70s. I don't know if NAZZ, I got some information pulled up, so we'll go into that in a couple of minutes. So I'm not sure how long they lasted. It might have just been like once Todd left, the band kind of stayed around but didn't do that much afterwards. But we'll definitely check that out together. But I think this was their major famous song. Yeah.
Okay. And where are they from?
Good old reliable wiki, and they're saying that NAZZ was an American rock band formed in Philadelphia in 1967, and the group was founded by guitarist and principal songwriter Todd Rundgren and bassist Carson Van Osten, drummer Tom Mooney, and vocalist keyboardist Robert Stuckey and Tony joined soon after. The group's first major concert had them opening for the Doors in 1967. And the group is best known for their debut single, Open My Eyes, backed with Hello, It's Me. Now, Hello, It's Me is Rundgren's solo song. What he did is that in 1972, he re-recorded Hello, It's Me.
That he had once recorded with NAZZ, and now
I love that song. I think that song, right? Or is that?
I don't know if I'd have to hear it to
yeah, really... got that piano. Hello, it's me. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it justice. I'm sure you've heard it. It's a beautiful song. It's a great love song. It really is.
Yeah, no, I'll check into it just after I hold that Who song up against Open My Eyes, because that stuck with me instantly.
Yeah, they released 3 albums: NAZZ, NAZZ, and NAZZ the Third. They were really, really creative when it came to the album names, And then they disbanded in '69 when Rundgren pursued a solo career. So that's probably why you don't really hear them because they only had a short window.
Sure.
67 through 69, then they got back in 71, and then that was it. It's funny, Wiki is showing one of the genres as psychedelic rock. And there was a part of that song where like the voices become like distorted or so, kind of like psychedelic, and I love that guitar. I don't know if that guitar was in tandem with the bass and they were kind of creating something really cool.
I was actually when I listened to it thinking, and I think I commented on how much the bass is what drew me in at first. Now I play bass, so I think the bass and the guitar were very much doing similar, if not the same things, but I was listening to the low end.
Yeah.
But what I did hear with the guitars just after I acknowledged the bass was that like the phasing in and out of speakers almost, where it was like this sort of sweeping production sound on the guitar that were happening. And I thought that was cool, obviously. I was like, oh, that, I mean, it caught my attention. So clearly I thought it was original and pretty nifty. But
yeah,
what also stood out to me is now, like, especially like having confirmed when it came out, is I think what you were hearkening to earlier, which is this impressive guitar production for the time.
Yeah.
They did a really
absolutely
with the guitar work. And which was probably like the goal du jour in rock music production at the time, because so much of it was guitar driven with all the god level guitarists that were in rock bands during that era. So but yeah, I was really impressed from a production standpoint, not just a musicianship standpoint.
I think it was Rundgren who's playing that guitar. Yeah, and then Carson, when I hover over his name, it's not telling me what he played in the group, because then you have drummer Tom Mooney and then vocalist keyboardist Robert Stuckey and Tony. So I'm thinking Carson played bass and Todd played the guitar. It's probably I think he's known as like a multi-instrumentalist. Rundgren, he could do almost anything. Cool. So you have the final word on this. Then take us out. You want to take us out?
Yeah, I could take us out. I really enjoyed the song. Look forward to more. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a wormhole deep dive on these guys just to get a little bit better understanding, though you've already provided me with a pretty good foundation. So I guess that's it. And I'll bring it to a wrap and say thanks. And we'll see you on another episode of Into the Music.
See ya.